And welcome back to my channel, to my GLP-1 alignment journey. This week, I'm talking about getting lean, not skinny, on a GLP-1. But I'm bump. So my name is Kenya, and if you are new to my channel, welcome. Please hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell so that you're notified every time I drop a video. And of course, like, share, comment, all the things. Particularly if something just really resonates for you while I'm talking today. If you're already a subscriber, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. It's good to see you. Good to have you back. And wow, I said I wasn't gonna go through like whatever week, because I honestly, my brain, I don't know if it will always remember to say which week, but we have started the second month. I am officially in my second month, and if you've been watching every video, you already know the story. If you're new and this is your very first time ever landing in this space and seeing my face and this story, I have created a playlist for these videos. So every time I do an update on my GLP-1 journey, I will include that video in the playlist. And so you can binge watch. I try to keep the videos less than 25 minutes. So it could be some fun lunchtime watching or dinner time or whatever, going for a walk on your treadmill or something. But yeah, everything is going well. It's going really well. Really well. I know I sound all surprised. I sound like I have so many thoughts, y'all, and there's no way I can convey them all in these little, video things. But I have so many thoughts and about how this GLP-1 medication is informing my life. So many things that I did not anticipate that, of course, my whole goal, my primary goal, two primary goals, maybe three. First one is just to feel better. Okay, feel better. Lose weight, definitely second. And lose weight, feel better might have been tight. And then, just some health things that just felt off in my body. Nothing that's a major disease, thank God. Nothing that has, but I figure I prior to this, I have felt like I've been on the edge, just on the edge, like just one more moment and it's going to turn into something else. And so I really wanted to make sure that I just wanted something different for my life. And the more I kept hearing people talk about GLP-1 medications, I start studying it. I start talking to friends and family who are, and coworkers and colleagues who are currently on it. And it just became very clear it was time. And I'm really grateful that I did. And again, if you want to hear more of those details of what got me started and what all of that was, you can watch the playlist. I am on tirzepatide, which is a compounded version of Zepbound. I'm on still not the lowest dosage, but half of the lowest. I'm still on it, y'all. I just started month 2, decided to continue on this half of the lowest because I'm making progress, and I told myself that I wouldn't shift that. I wouldn't up the dose unless I felt like it was necessary due to plateauing with weight loss, or if I felt like more of the dysregulated nervous system, mind chatter thing would start going on, food noise, then I would make a shift at that point. So I'm on 1.25 milligrams because as of this morning, and I'm recording this on a Wednesday, February 4th. This video probably won't get out though until Thursday or Friday, February 5th or 6th, somewhere in there. But I'm down a total of 7 pounds since I started. Well, actually 7.4 pounds. So I think that's right. Yeah. Because I'm at 224. I started at 231.4. So 1 month and a week into this. So what, 5 weeks? But honestly, I started January 1st and today's February 3rd. So I mean, like really a month, right? So I'm just rounding everything up and I'm just gonna say it was about a 7 pound loss in a month. I'm gonna just give it that. But what I wanted to talk about today, I put in getting lean. And if you're reading this, you see that I have lean in all caps and it's an abbreviation. And so lean is a abbreviation. Um, it's actually an abbreviation that I use for when I have coached clients because, yes, y'all, I'm a certified health coach who, yes, struggles with her weight. Because I know a lot of times we think health coaches or people who are in these wellness spaces, "Oh, you don't have health problems, right?" No. But Lean is a program, that Lean is I didn't make up that acronym, but I do have different, programs that I've done coaching with and using I have a method called the Get Lean After 40 method, so it's more about wellness at midlife. But lean is not about skinny, like we're typically or lean, long, lean. No. This lean is lifestyle, exercise, attitude, and nutrition. And so I wanted to start introducing this idea because like I said, I coach others with it, but it's also something that I use for myself. And so now being on a GLP-1, what I've been doing is just thinking about lifestyle, exercise, attitude, and nutrition while being on a GLP-1. And y'all, you have to understand, I work at a university. I'm an assistant professor at a university, but also I'm very entrepreneurial. I have my own small boutique health and wellness business. And those who really, really know me, that I can take any idea and make it into a business. So y'all know, of course, my brain is like, woo, all this GLP-1, I got to help other people. I got to tell the people to get into the program. No, not yet, girl. Slow your roll. But I am definitely for myself right now, because that's this wellness journey. I'm really investing in me right now. And I have been really thinking about the lean aspect and how has the GLP-1 helped me with getting lean, meaning stepping into lifestyle, staying consistent with exercise, mindfulness in my attitude and my mood, right? And what I'm eating, my nutrition, and how is GLP-1 supporting that? And so for the next few weeks, I believe for the month of February, because lean is 4, so 4 weeks. I don't know, whatever. Um, I want to kind of talk about each letter in this whole lean thing. And so I'll start with lifestyle since that's what the L is for. And how has the GLP-1 supported my lifestyle? Well, I'm just learning, right? I've only done this for a month, but I will say in this month, I have felt the closest to me that I have felt in at least 3 or 4 years. Because it was really it was literally like the month I turned 50. It was the day after that my body started saying, and I was just like, "Girl, really? I mean, you turned 50 like 45 minutes ago. Like, what are we talking about? How do we shift?" But that was a marker. There were a variety of things that happened to me physically. Um, Really, yeah, my birthday after. Like, I was actually traveling on my birthday and, I was starting to develop really bad constipation, and a lot of that you travel, you think it's that, but it wasn't going away once I got back, and that's a whole other I'm not gonna get all into that, but I do think that that was the marker of when things started to shift, where I think my perimenopause went on fleek, where I really think that my body was, definitely mitigating something different, and I wasn't fully aware or in tune to what exactly different meant or what that was, so I'm just now starting to remember and be like, "Oh, this yeah, now I feel a little more like Kenya." Um And so it's not really about the weight loss. And this is, I think we've made GLP-1 heavily about the weight loss, which is important because it's very significant and it's absolutely assisting with that. I can't say I don't know if I would be down 7 pounds in a month, if I did not have that support. I am gonna say no because I haven't been able to do that even when I was really, really focused doing coaching programs, wellness. I mean, really, fasting, all of that. Not that didn't happen. And so I know the GLP-1 for sure is a factor and is supporting me in this journey. And so that is allowing my lifestyle to feel more aligned. Now, I will say this, it is winter and I live in Chicago. And it's funny, I see how the South this past week, a lot of the southern regions from your Texas and your Georgias and your Floridas even and Nashville, Tennessee, all these just having ridiculously, subarctic temperatures, North Carolina, all this snow, all this, right? And of course, those of us in Chicago, we're just like, welcome to our daily reality for the entire winter season and sometimes before and sometimes after. So, Chicago, it's cold. It's cold. It snows almost every other day. And, so lifestyle is a little tricky for a summer girl like me, girl who loves summer. And so, yes, the winter being in Chicago definitely for me is a hibernated more energy. And so I'm not going out every minute. I love being in my home. I, all the things. But I will say, lifestyle in terms of creating better habits and creating consistency with the routines that been setting up for myself. um, yeah, I've been able this past month, I was able to consistently keep up with my meal prepping, which again, I do ingredient prepping. I don't do full meal. And if you're new here, I don't know what I'm going to talk a lot about that a lot more when I get to nutrition. But I basically prep proteins for the week and then I chop up all my veggies. I'm not really a rice eater, so I do more potatoes. I will have some rice here or there, but I don't prep rice. I more so prep sweet potatoes and whole potato, regular white potato, small white, well, golden Yukon yellow potatoes or whatever. Um, but I prep that, and that's been consistent. And I prep for breakfast, I'm usually drinking a protein shake or I do overnight oats, but I'll talk more about that. So make sure you're subscribed so that when I do nutrition, because I'm going to go into better detail about what I'm eating on this GLP-1 and what is really working for me. But I've been able to be consistent with that. I've been able to my goal is to be at the gym 3 times a week. This week, I'm probably going to end up at the gym twice instead of 3 times. And that's just because I had my schedule got a little funky. My goal is to do 3 times at the gym and 2 yoga pyo things at home, which is like a yoga, and then I stretch along with that. But this week, I'm going to end up doing 3 times of the yoga pyo stretch and 2 times at the gym just because of the way my schedule is lining up. And been able to be consistent with that. Just my daily routines have just been more consistent. I will say I think it's easier to be consistent with these routines because I'm not competing with, the outside activities. Because Chicago, listen, once it hits summer, y'all, it's on. Okay. There's too much going on, right? And so it can make you feel like, oh, I should be outside and it's only going to be sunny for another month. I need to be out every day. So I will say, I think it's helpful in terms of doing these kind of daily mundane routine things in the winter because I'm not competing with a bunch of activities outside. But I don't know. I think that again, the way that I really believe the GLP-1 is really supporting lifestyle again is for me is calming my nervous system down. Listen, I've come up with dissertation hypothesis of the research that we need to do on the brain impact, the cognitive and the nervous system regulation factors of GLP-1s for Black women at midlife and menopause and perimenopause. I got a whole research project because as I've talked to I was talking to another colleague of mine who's also on GLP-1 and who's also got a science background. And she was like, girl, that's a research project. And I'm like, I know. And the truth is, we're just starting. They're really just starting to do more of the research on women's health. Literally, like in the past 10 years, really, literally. I mean, and with menopause and perimenopause, finally, our generation, our Gen X generation, and with the millennials, approaching or in perimenopause, it's getting louder. And I know those of you who are women, or any of you're not women, you're probably just seeing a lot more around menopause and perimenopause, which is excellent. But that also means we have to understand women's health better so we can better understand what all of this even really, how did this start? What are the trends? All of that. So we're just really tapping into what women's physiology really, what female physiology, sex female physiology really is doing, is even functioning, how it's actually just functioning, not even so much of what to do to fix or repair or heal but literally how does it work? Because the way science works is you first have to really understand the physiology, okay? You hear the normal, but the typical physiology. And then that's when you can start saying, okay, this is atypical, or this is how we should consider supporting it so that it can become thriving and typical or whatever for the physiology. And they're just starting to really even understand that for women, and add on being a Black woman. When is that study coming? And study doesn't always mean quantitative, we're gonna pick your blood. No, I mean, just have conversations with us. Just talk to us. And as Black women, we have to be willing to be in conversation, particularly when it comes to wanting to better understand our trends, our needs, because I really believe that epigenetically, there is yet another layer that hasn't fully been fleshed out, and definitely not put into mainstream accessible spaces for Black women to better understand our health. And it's not about, oh, this is a race thing, or it's not a, it's a racism, discrimination, stress, post-traumatic slave syndrome thing that doesn't just impact our lifestyle, it impacts our health. So GLP-1s, I believe, have a really, really strong impact on your lifestyle. If your nervous system is more regulated, which the GLP-1, understand, it is impacting the brain, not going in doing this to the brain. I don't want you to think like that, but helping the brain better be able to send its signals so that the physiology and the metabolism are more efficient and not interrupted, not interrupting those circuits, allowing those circuits to be in more flow and balance. So, obviously, if my nervous system, this is the whole point, y'all, of meditation, yoga, mindfulness, all of those things, rest that we talk about, which are a part of lifestyle, that's all to calm your nervous system, to get more regulated, grounded. When you are in a meditation, the reason why it's like let the thoughts come and let them go is so that the nervous system can be more in neutral. Because when the nervous system is more regulated, it allows all systems to be more regulated. So that's going to change your lifestyle. how you sleep, your motivation, your mood, what you decide to do and don't decide to do. And I'll wrap up by kind of saying this for me, one of the biggest parts for lifestyle. I like to do a lot of things. Those of you who know me know that. But one of the silent things that was happening for me that I didn't even know. See, this is the thing. And you guys, you know this. It's not until you experience something different that you realize, oh, I was really going through something, wasn't I? You don't even know until you're not going through it. And you're like, oh, oh. But one of the things that I didn't even really realize how much I was doing. And I thought this food noise, figuring things out, that was going to be my main. And that is, yes, it's a factor for sure. But I also now realize, oh girl, you were always torn with yourself. That chatter inside saying, should you do this? No, don't do that. Do this, don't do that. No, wait, can you do this? Should you get up and go to the gym? Don't go to the gym. Are you gonna go to the gym? Sit down. You can go to sleep. No, you gotta get up. You gotta get up. Go work. That me all day, all night. That's what it was. That was my life. I thought that's just squirrel brain. That's just what I got. That's Kenya. Got squirrel brain. And then I'd start taking my GLP-1 and I'm like, I don't have squirrel brain. I'm getting more things done. I'm not torn. I just get up and I go work out. I'm not debating myself. I'm not, should I? I'm just, I gotta get up, time to go to the gym. and that I'm laughing to myself because y'all, you don't, I just need you to understand how revolutionary that is to not battle with Kenya. I don't need anybody else. Don't worry. I can battle myself quite well. Well, that battle has lessened. Now I'm not just free, I'm not fully Harriet Tubman in my mind, but it is a lot better. And I do believe the GLP-1 is greatly the source of what's helping that. But I also have the education and the agency and the understanding of what exercise, of what ingredient prep, of what movement, of what sleep, of what those things can do. So if you don't have that knowledge, you don't have that piece of information, you may not necessarily have that same experience. So that's why I'm sharing kind of the science a bit and also wanting to get into exercise and nutrition and attitude and stuff so that those of you who are considering GLP-1 or you're on a GLP-1, for you to be able to have, again, I'm not your doctor, I'm not your therapist, I'm not doing any of that, but just for you to hear a testimony of that. So that if you want to go and start getting a little bit more information, at least you have an idea. You've heard me talk about it and you have a reference point, right? So yeah, things going well. I'm going to wrap up. And next time I come on, I will talk a little bit more about my workouts and exercise and how the GLP-1 has supported that and in what ways I'm seeing those two interact with each other. So that is all I have. Again, I appreciate you. Please make sure you have hit subscribe. Please share this video as well. Just want to be able to let others um, hear stories. And again, every week I've had somebody either DM me or put a comment or something, and so I really appreciate it because it allows me one to just feel supported, which is super helpful. But also it helps me reflect because when you ask questions, I reflect more, and that's helpful, huge helpful. And then hopefully it's a win-win, and I can say something that'll allow you to reflect. So feel free for the, encouraging and constructive and positive comments. I appreciate it. So, all right, you guys take care and we'll be back soon. Bye.